So when we're going back and doing childhood trauma, it's important for those fragmented parts to receive that regulation and that nurture through our inner mother, because they're not expected to self-regulate. They're not yet at that age. And so they need that motherly nurture to be able to be held and supported in that, all that emotion that they didn't feel safe enough to feel during that traumatic experience, probably but because they went into freeze and their body stiffened up and held on to the true feelings that were present in that scary situation. And usually there's grief and sadness, usually. So that's a really big component of the healing process. Being able to really be there openly, safely, to be able to feel that childhood trauma and feel the response to it. Now, a lot of the time, and I spoke about this in advanced emotional healing, what happens is someone won't have the capacity to feel safe enough in feeling in general. That's why I said in advanced emotional healing that's so important for people to do things like breath work and healing sessions, and in some cases, if it feels aligned, with the appropriate supervision and support, to do plant medicine and these different forms of getting in touch with our emotions, so that the adult that's doing this healing work actually feels comfortable enough as a prerequisite before doing specific trauma healing work to be able to feel in their fullness. Because what happens is if that adult person doesn't feel safe to feel because their inner child has a big trauma around feeling safe to feel and they haven't worked through that yet, then whenever we're in the trauma healing experience, there will be a circumventing that happens where that part of this adult that's not yet emotionally mature will continue to recoil and pull themselves out of the experience and block the feelings from being welcome in the environment, aka they won't be feeling. They might feel a tiny bit and then go, I know I'm sorry about that, I'll compose myself, or just let me get myself together. And what they're hinting at is, I don't feel safe to feel. And if someone doesn't have that level of foundational emotional literacy, then this whole process of healing specific childhood traumas, it's unable to work. It's not going to be effective. And so it's very, very important that there is a super gentle, patient, grounded, just that, if you think about a mother with a child, a healthy mother, the mother is not going to rush the child to stop feeling. The mother's not like, all right, now you felt enough, stop it. A healthy mother will be there for as long as that emotion lasts. And the child naturally will just express. There's no filter for them to express their needs through their emotions. And that is the same effect that is most powerful in a childhood healing, most effective, if the person that's healing the trauma in this first crucial element of childhood trauma healing, it's to be able to feel fully, patiently, not feeling to heal or change, just feeling safe enough to be with what is there. And through practice and the nervous system getting familiar with emotions, this process will become smoother and easier. Emotions will become easier to access. So that's the first thing that's really important, being able to actually acknowledge the feelings of the inner child and allow the inner child to have enough safety and resource to access those feelings. That is what I refer to in this trio of required aspects. So let's just go with this. So the three things during healing childhood trauma. First is that. And most healing modalities focus on this. Most inner child work is about being with the child so they can feel unconditionally. Now, one of the most healing and powerful books on healing that I've read is a book called The Presence Process by an amazing man called Michael Brown. And his process has this. Most inner child work has this. And a lot of healing modalities don't fully have this. Now, I'm going to speak to the way in which some healing processes like NLP, timeline therapy, to a certain degree, completion process with Teal Swan, but I feel like that's more thorough. However, there is this blind spot that a lot of people have with their healing journey, which is that they are attached to healing, and they're healing because they feel that they need to get the healing journey going. They need to heal these things so they can become whole, and they're rushing that process, and it's coming from a place of fear. Now, a lot of healing modalities like NLP, which I would say is more of an empowerment modality, the goal of it is to, well, I don't know the goal of it. It's unfair of me to say because I haven't spoken to the founder of it. But what I've experienced through different NLP leaders, and there are several that I know and have met, and I've done NLP fully, thoroughly gone through the whole process of the NLP trainings. And there's a bit of a prerequisite in there that if you're taken back to a memory, and someone who's facilitating the NLP is trying to empower you, and they take you back to a memory, and they get you to change your association to what that childhood trauma, that traumatic experience was about. If someone's feeling unworthy, and they feel that they'll be conditionally worthy of love when they become more successful, when they become a better partner, when they become fitter and healthier and better looking. If someone has those insecurities present in their field, and then they are either doing an NLP breakthrough on themselves, or someone else is projecting their insecurities to someone's healing journey, and they're taken back into a traumatic memory, then their goal of that healing is not to love themselves unconditionally. It's to use that trauma to try to short circuit what they think's blocking them from their attachments. So they're going in there, hypothetically, going, okay, when you were 6 years old and you had this experience where your dad said you're dumb, what would you change that to now? What do you want to reprogram that to? And the person that's insecure is like, well, I want to reprogram myself to be super smart. And so then they're like, I'm actually smart. I'm actually a genius. I'm actually brilliant. And they go back and they're trying to change that inner child because they're trying to change themselves because they think they're broken, and it's a blind spot. And I believe, and from my experience, a lot of really popular NLP trainers that have hundreds, if not thousands of people that have gone through their workshops use NLP as a tool to try to improve themselves because they think they're broken, not as a tool for supporting themselves to become more unconditionally whole in who they are.